And sure enough, it told me how to do it, and all is well. So
Yay!
Yay.
thank you.
I'm so proud of you.
Mm.
Google
As
knows
far-
all the answers.
Yeah, unfortunately, there are always more questions, and that's why we keep coming back. Plus to
Yeah.
see.
And they keep changing things, right? Like you think you finally have it handled and then they change it on you.
Exactly.
Yeah, I have a love-hate relationship with Google. Well, now that they own YouTube, I now have to sign into Google through YouTube because all my other passwords for Google don't work anymore.
Mm.
Huh.
Yeah, it's one password for all the Google entities. So
Yeah, but when you don't know that and you're setting it up in the first place, then you set up a different one, and I don't want to have to change all the computers to a new, whatever.
Actually, I was using Google with quotes and generically, I was on DuckDuckGo. As
yeah,
if I
Google is
absolutely
a
need to,
verb
I go
now.
to Google, but it's DuckDuckGo is working just great. So thank you for that suggestion.
Hmm.
Hmm,
Yeah, Googling has become a verb for any of the search engines.
right.
Just like Kleenex for tissue.
Exactly.
And my husband worked for for Scott Paper for many years, and he wouldn't let anyone in the family say Kleenex. He'd say tissues. If you can't say our brand, at least just say tissues.
That's funny.
It was
Good.
like, it's like my dad with the Hershey products. We weren't allowed to have any products in the house other than Hershey's.
Wow.
There's
And
nothing
in
wrong
the
with
UK,
that.
they don't vacuum their rugs in the UK. They Hoover them
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
because for so long Hoover was the only brand.
Yeah.
That became the verb.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Other questions, concerns, comments?
I have an update. Remember what we did with if you call it McAfee or McAfee, whichever way, I don't know
pronounce it.
how they pronounce it, but anyway, since I said I didn't want the automatic renewal, now every time I get on, I get this, and it's here right now. I get a big red square in the bottom with a little man that looks vicious, and it says, emerging cyber attack techniques threaten your life online and may let hackers, and they give a list of things. And then to get rid of it, I either say extend protection or accept risk. You can't close it with just closing the thing. You have to accept one or the other. So every time I accept the risk, and I'll do it right now. I hadn't done it because I wanted to read that to you. And I have one other thing. I don't know if this has happened to anyone else, Android phone wise, but when my phone rings, oh my gosh, would you believe the thing came back up and I have to accept it twice? Okay, I accepted it twice. I'm
You
very
know, I
risky.
think McAfee's gone off the rails. That's been my
Yeah.
experience.
Okay.
I've gotten some crazy emails from them, and I don't think it's from them. I think somebody is writing the name.
And I think they, like Facebook and Google and everything, have gotten too big. And so they have made it more frustrating to use. Like it was at one point a really good product, but now it is so lost its vision of what it, its original purpose was, that it's not helpful anymore. But people are,
McAfee and Norton are the old timers in the business.
yeah. But Bill got a great phishing email from McAfee, which he sent to me, so I'll show it to you guys too, which is someone pretending to be McAfee.
That
Look-
was 77 viruses. It's grown since then.
Oh wow, 70.
So
Yeah.
they say.
Yeah, but that's one of the worst phishing emails I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, I love how the computer and subscription has the 0 instead of the O.
Yep. Yeah, just everything about it, right? Like,
Right.
it's just,
Does that mean by accepting the risk, I just send it to some hacker?
If
Remember-
it looked like that, then yes.
No, it didn't look like that. It was just it was a pop-up red square thing. But the only way you could make it go away was,
Mm.
so it covered this. All right, the way my screen is set up right now, there's 5 squares of people. And then the one in the corner was the same size as one of the people. So it covered that much of my screen.
Hmm.
So, we'll see what happens. Maybe if you don't ever see me again, you'll know what happened.
They are known for all their pop-up, reminder stuff, which is very frustrating, but it could also be, adware on the computer too, mimicking that. So,
Oh, one other thing with that, remember I was saying that I wasn't showing how many ads were being kicked off? Since I said no more to McAfee, which they're supposed to be doing it until September, but I now get all the ads blocked. It tells me like 23 ads blocked on this site, blah, blah, blah. And it wasn't doing that well. I was a bona fide user of McAfee. So I don't know if they have something to do with that too, or what.
I think we looked at your ad blocker last time, which is different than McAfee.
Right.
I think the ad blocker started working again.
It started working then, and it started working on my desktop computer too. And that was after I said, don't renew my thing. Don't automatically renew. So I don't know if that's connected or what. I'm gonna wait till closer to September, and then you can all help me pick somebody else and then see what happens.
I'd start looking now and get out of McAfee as soon as you can.
My guess is there's going to be some Labor Day deals and things too, so you might see some things like that.
Okay.
So yeah, I do start Googling some, best antivirus software for PCs or something.
Or ask Stephen.
Yeah.
Even would
He has one.
has Avast. He would recommend Avast.
Yeah, I've heard that from other people too, so. That's what I'm thinking.
Mhm.
I was starting to talk about my cell phone. Usually when it rings, even if it's asleep, not if it's turned off, but if it's asleep, the phone comes up and I can say swipe up to answer or swipe down, or if I'm doing something else, it's got a little box, request, ignore. The other day I tried to do that and I picked it up and it just stayed black, and it stayed black and I couldn't do anything. So I pushed like the button to turn it on, and that cut off the phone call. Well, now I'm realizing that it must have been an upgrade or something, that when I pick up the phone, I now get a phone in one corner, a camera in the other corner, and a lock in the middle. And I have to swipe on the phone, and then it shows me the phone call, and then I swipe to answer the phone call. So it put an extra step in there. Now that I know to do that and remember, it's okay. But before I was cutting people off because I didn't know how to get their call. So if that, just a heads up, if anybody else, I guess you guys are all iPhone people, but if it happens, okay. Well, it was, I don't know.
You probably like the customization of the Androids, don't you, Bill?
Yeah, well, it's part of it is it was such a deal. And it's crazy. I've had an iPad forever, and I've had a non-Apple phone forever. So I'm always working in 2 different operating systems, but that's okay. It helps you understand across the board a little bit better.
It keeps your
It's,
brain working too.
Yeah, the phone, I find I use the camera a lot. And I found that when I was working at Longwood Gardens, I could carry a phone camera in my pocket, but a big SLR, 35 millimeter, I couldn't be going around doing my job and have that hanging. So taking pictures of opportunity are so much better with the phone. And I find the Android phone was just as good. I think I'm getting just as good pictures as I would on an iPhone.
Mhm. I
had a
think
phone
Androids are better.
Yes.
Android cameras are better.
That's what the phone guy told me. Although when when iPhone came out with their latest and greatest, they're talking about how good their camera is. So maybe they made it better now, but he said Android phones cameras were better.
I still think
Absolute-
Android has a little bit more advantage for camera.
Solution seems to be just as good as my big old clunky SLR.
Mhm.
You notice I'm not wearing my DSLR on Sunday mornings like I did before the pandemic. Back,
True.
it's just my little phone for most things.
It's convenient.
Mm-hmm. Lighter.
Yeah.
When I'm walking the dog or I'm out and about, it's so quick to get a picture without setup and fussing around and all that.
Yeah.
Quality of each picture may not quite be as good, but I can fix that when I edit it.
Yeah.
My trouble with the phone is camera and phone is I have no idea how to do anything with it. I mean, I don't know what this means or that means, and there's tons of stuff I can do. And, you know, I guess I have to Google it, DuckGo it or something and see if I can get from my particular camera how all those things work, what they do.
Well, you can experiment and just, it's not like you're using up film. You just
Right.
erase it and go back and try it again. You
Right.
know,
The trouble is
these things-
remembering what you did on the time you like it.
It's true.
Well, and it also depends on the lighting too and different things. So you might go, oh, for this particular day or this evening, it worked really well with this, but on another time, something else would be different. So
No, I need to spend some time with it because I like photos and I like them to be good and mine aren't good.
Well, because they're not sending manuals anymore when you get
No.
devices, you can go online and look for the manual. And then I've made like a shortcut to get to that when I need to look up something. And I need to study I love my Android phone and the pictures it takes, and I can take good videos and things. And yes, you can play around with it, but to learn more about it, that's what I would do.
Mhm.
Look at the manual online and see what it suggests.
Yeah, I wasn't able to find one, but maybe I didn't look hard enough.
track phones are a little bit harder to find.
Mine's not a track phone, but
Oh.
mine's a blue, so
Okay.
BLU, and they just, I don't know. just-
But YouTube also is a good source. They do tutorials on if you go camera features for blue or whatever the version of phone you have, whether it's Android or iPhone, and they'll do really detailed, here are different things depending on who you get. But
I have a bad habit of not going to a manual. I figure intuitively, having worked with this stuff for so long, there's certain conventions that are followed. You get to kind of figure out what they're trying to do. Doesn't always work out as good as going to a manual, but oh well.
yeah. Lots of different ways to figure it out for the different ways our brains work. So
Yeah.
that's
Or
the
don't.
Yeah, or that's fine.
And that's why we have tech time.
Yeah.
But yeah, we could play with Android's phones settings sometime when somebody wants to hold up their phone or let me borrow a phone and we can hook it up and screen share. So we can do that.
I had an interesting thing happen the other day. It's the second time it happened. I updated my phone and then my computer. And then I got a notice on my computer that said iMessage and something else, texting is now being used by an iPhone 9, iPhone and then in parentheses 9. If this is okay, you can ignore the message, but it didn't say what to do if it wasn't okay. And I just decided my phone is an XR, and I think that's the equivalent to a 9. And so somebody put in 9 instead of an XR, but I have no idea if somebody else is using my phone because like there was nowhere to go. And the
We
last
could look
time I called T-Mobile the last time and they couldn't find anything. And so I guess I could call Apple, but
If you log under your iCloud account, it will show you all the devices that are linked
right.
with your account. And then
Okay.
you could remove any that are not yours. So
Okay.
that's what I would do. And if you want a screen share, we could walk through that process.
Well, if anybody else is interested in how to do that, I can do that.
But yeah, yeah, if you go to iCloud.com.
Yeah, I know. I gotta get another. I'm not moving very well yet.
Are you still not feeling well too?
You didn't hear the final diagnosis. I fractured the T11 vertebra.
No.
Yeah. So here I am.
So what's the recovery process for that?
Pain medication and patience. What can I say?
Do they have an estimate of how long you'll be down?
Usually, well, Bill claims it's 2 to 3 weeks with a pain, but it takes 2 to 3 months for it to heal.
Hmm.
I'm looking at my Apple ID, and I mean, I know what my Apple ID is, but that's my email thingy, right?
Mm-hmm.
iCloud or Gmail? Let's see here. Gmail. You can see how often I don't sign into iCloud.
That's okay.
Yeah. Oh, come on.
Happens all the time.
I know, and I don't like it. Even when I type correctly, it happens. Oh, I know why.
Well, that's good.
Oh, yes, it
no.
is. Come on.
Fourth time's the charm.
No, the first few times I was using the wrong word, but this time I'm not.
Uh-huh.
This is why you don't want.
Are you sure it's Gmail?
Yes. iPad. Okay, I can try
Good
this one.
thing
here.
this isn't 3 strikes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I got that. Try that one. Oh, well, forget it. I'll have to work on it. God forbid that I have to.
Password.
There
What?
is an R, there's supposed to be an R in your email, right? CRAM.
CRAMEND.
Okay.
No, it's supposed to be Connie Amond. This is what happens when you have 2 emails too, or 3. There we go. Let's try that one. Great. Okay, look, I'm on drugs, guys. I'd much rather be lying down
There we go.
asleep right now to get rid of the pain.
I'm impressed you're here.
Right.
Yeah, well.
So if
oh,
you drag this box up a little bit, you can type that number. So
somewhere.
yeah, if you can click the top, do you see there's like a little bar at the top? If you click and hold that down.
Go. That's what I usually do it on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. not like I've never signed in my iCloud in this computer. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. So where do I want to go to?
So you want to go to account settings. And if you scroll down,
iPad. See now, see
Yeah, so-
iPhone 9 and underneath it says iPhone XR.
so that's the name of it. You could rename their phone if you want to rename it.
That's okay. I figured that out the other day. I Googled because I thought there is no such thing as an iPhone 9. So why do they use it?
They shouldn't. It somehow got saved that way. If you click on the iPhone 9, you should be able to rename it. Keyword should.
Or it should. I don't want to delete it.
No. You can do it on your phone, so we could do that. I can
Okay,
show
well,
you.
I can do that now that I know how to
But
type.
yeah, if those
Love
are the only 4 devices that are currently
Those are the right 4 devices. And I figured that because last time when I called, they couldn't find anything wrong with it, so. you know.
good. Yeah, so now you know that's what it
FYI, for anybody that has an XR, they're gonna call it a 9, maybe.
so yeah. Do you want me to show you how to change your
There you go,
name
now
of your phone?
No, that's okay.
Okay.
I'll work on it.
It's under the settings function in your phone,
Yeah, okay.
under general. And about.
That's a lot easier.
Yep. I'm impressed you stuck with it even though you're not feeling well.
Well, as long as I'm sitting here, I'm okay. I have my rocking chair is okay, and lying on the sofa on my left side with my back against the back of the sofa so that I don't move is okay. And for the most part, I'm sleeping okay at night. I don't have any more spasms. That's the good news.
Mhm.
I just have pain. Or aches, as the case may be.
Baby steps.
Yeah,
You'll get there.
I'll get there. I know, it just takes patience.
Yep.
The older we get, the shorter we get on patience. Okay, for all you people that aren't old yet.
And the shorter we get.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. Yeah. Other things you guys want to discuss, or we can stay on the health topics too today.
That'll take a while.
That's right.
How's Dan?
I have not heard from Dan. Last I talked to Patty, I was informing her I had COVID, so they should probably be careful. I'm like, I don't see Dan for like 2 years, and then I get COVID during that span. But it doesn't sound like they got it from me, thankfully. So, but I had not heard anymore.
Are Don and Jerry both over it?
Don, I heard tested positive again. He was testing negative, so he probably is like the president that got a rebound case. Jerry's still testing negative and fully back in the office and recovered. Our finance director, who's the one we think spread it to the 3 of us, is doing better. She's back in the office. So yeah, Don and I are the ones that are have the whole ride, but could be worse. Could be
Well, I guess if you get that Paxlovid or whatever it is, that rebounds are really common.
Yeah, Don, Jerry, and Sandy were all on that. I was not on that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh, well.
Well, at least we don't have monkeypox in the church, do we?
Oh, God.
Not quite quick.
We have a lot of monkeys. I don't know about the pox. Oh, dear.
Yeah, I have not heard of any, no. But yeah,
Mm.
so stay safe and healthy, people. Please.
You're right. We'll try.
Yep.
Mm.
Other comments, concerns, points of discussion, philosophy?
Oh, dear. No, silence.
It's okay.
Mm.
Somebody was talking about something and I don't remember what it was now, but it was good discussion of some kind. Oh well, doesn't matter.
You mean the last time we were together or since then?
Or had a question they wanted to discuss or a topic. I don't know.
Hmm.
I know Bob and Jean Bell said there was a really interesting presenter at Chautauqua this summer that did a deep dive in Wikipedia, and they wondered if when they came back, if we could do a showing of that lecture that they'd be happy to host. So yeah, so look for that if you're interested in learning about Wikipedia.
Is that a private network?
Wikipedia?
Yeah. Oh, Wikipedia.
Yeah.
I didn't get the wiki part. I just got the. I was trying to. Yeah.
Did they go to Mount Gretna for that?
No, they go to the main Chautauqua campus, the original up in New York. It's right on the border by Erie. But they spend the whole summer up there. They've spent every summer of their entire lives pretty much up there. Going. But yeah, and I my family went up there for 20 plus years. We haven't been back since the pandemic, but we always went for a week. So it was always fun. I'd bump into Bob and Jean, they'd look for me on week 8. So
Run into Jim and Janice Clark?
I don't know if I've never bumped into them. Maybe they have.
Oh,
But
Lynn, I have a point of news for you. Tomorrow is Kaylin Clothier's last day in the TV studio here.
oh, that's sad.
Isn't
That's
that
exciting
sad?
for
I was
her.
so depressed the other day. I tell you. Yeah, she's going to Ericsson headquarters and doing similar stuff there. So it's a bump up for her, but it
Promotion.
yeah, it's a promotion, but I feel for Liz. So if you know anybody that has that kind of training that wants to work in the TV studio,
Mm-hmm. I'm guessing it's a full-time position.
it is a full-time position.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a full-time position, and they really need 2 people because we can't do things in the theater and on TV at the same time without 2 people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they haven't hired someone then that's coming in that will step in.
No.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I
Haven't
haven't.
told us about it. If they did, our director went off to England for a 2-week holiday and came back with COVID.
Mm,
She hasn't come back yet. No.
she's
Lynn,
not
did
allowed.
you get- Oh,
Go
Lynn,
ahead.
did you get to meet with your family at all? Your extended family that was? Oh, yeah.
No, they came for the first time in 2.5 years, and I only got to Zoom with them.
Oh,
You could have done
Yeah.
it. Where are they from? Where did they come from?
Kansas.
Mm,
So yeah, they drove, 2 days to come and visit.
right.
Jeez.
And but they had a lovely visit with each other. My uncle from the other side of the family actually was there. He had his best friend lives in Elizabethtown, and his wife passed away, so he was there for the funeral. So he overlapped with them for the first time in 20 years. We so that was unique. But we have a family game competition. We have a trophy that we compete for that I missed the competition for, which was probably good because they're so competitive. But I got to sit and watch it on Zoom, which was much more entertaining.
Oh,
Hmm.
But yeah, I think they had a good time.
great.
Too bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Lynn and I were lamenting that week. Yeah,
Yeah, you were lamenting. I forget why you were lamenting, but I
I was
was.
lamenting my back.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Well, the good, there are two good things out of it. One is it was not a compression fracture due to osteoporosis. It was a fall. And two, we've been working very diligently on, because we haven't gone to the dining room for almost 2 weeks now, cleaning out our freezer,
Mm,
which has been terrific.
glad there are silver linings.
That's right. That's right.
Well, and I'm grateful I didn't get my whole family sick, you know. So
Oh, yeah, that would have been.
And you didn't have to come deal with the tech people.
yes. I
Right.
was there on the phone. I felt really bad though.
Mm.
I was,
Nancy did great last week by herself.
well, I guess, but it's still hard between to be from one side to the other. You know, like you don't know what the other one's doing, so that's tough. It's like she told me, okay, it's up, so I put it up, but she forgot to turn it off, so it wasn't up. It's like,
Yeah. It happens when you don't have a third person to.
well, and I do realize that if I say anything, the people right in front of me can hear what I say. I can't, you know, I try to speak softly, and so I only listen. You know, I can't, you know, she'll say thanks or something, and I can't say you're welcome or whatever. Or she's something, they say something, and I can't acknowledge it. So I did tell her that ahead, so she realized. But anyway, it was such fun, such a challenge.
Yeah. It's definitely hard. It's one of those, if we had designed the production post-COVID, we would have put you back in the production room. But
Oh my gosh.
before COVID, it was really nice to have the ProPresenter person there for contemporary because they could see, you know, there's nothing going out. So that it was all in the sanctuary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Challenged indeed. But you guys did well. I did feel bad that the Zoom wasn't working for Dawn, but made it work. So yeah, the part malfunctioned. There was nothing anyone could have done to get the video working that day, but it's now working, of course.
What, for Don's last day, you mean?
For Dawn's last day, we should have been able to see him actually do the stuff on the screen instead of the photo. We should have been able to do that, but the part that allowed that malfunctions. So and there was nothing anyone could have done that day unless there was a spare part, which the IT company or the company we used to install that had a spare one, which they've now installed after they figured out that was the issue. But yeah, I felt really bad that no one could see Dawn. It was benediction other than me. It was me, Dawn, and the live stream feed on Zoom. So I was like, Dawn, I'll hop on Zoom so you're not by yourself.
At least he was working back in Spelman Jr.
Yes.
He was
Yes.
there.
It's nice he could do that so much, but yeah.
Well,
Challenge.
yeah.
Anyway, enough about the tech mayhems for the live stream. I won't bore you with the details.
That was exciting.
Yes. We made it work.
Yeah.
Well, it just proves you're amazing. I mean, you can make it all run. You can fix almost everything that happens. You understand what happens. So, hurry back.
It's nice we have the technology and equipment that to make that possible. Not a lot of churches have the money and resources to do that.
Right.
comparisons are make you appreciate what we have so much more.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, just doing this is such a great service to the congregation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Small churches don't have the resources to do that.
Right.
Yeah. So
We were amazed when we moved from Silicon Valley, basically. We lived halfway between San Jose and San Francisco. How much more techie this church was than I was back in 2015, even that was pre-Lynn, I think, that than they were out there. And it
Mhm.
wasn't a small church, it was 1,000 members.
Mhm. I don't
Watched
consider
the
that a small.
Yeah.
watched the transitional minister in Charlotte, North Carolina, at the Presbyterian Church there, move up to First and Central in Wilmington, and the trials that they've gone through trying to get their live streaming right and
Mhm.
stuff. And it's just a trial just with the basic stuff, not with all the extras that we do.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah. The first 6 months of the pandemic, I spent a lot of time on the phone with people, other churches, just trying to get the basics, just, even setting up an iPhone and doing it. So, it's hard.
That's so generous of you to do that. Good for you.
It was one of those ministries, like, we're all in this together, let's help each other figure it out. And they don't have the resources, so
Yeah.
Let's help them if we can.
Right.
So. But yeah. Funny's talking to us. Is she blessing us?
Bill just came in from a meeting and he looked at the TV, which is on, but on mute. And I said, that's because if I watch, because it's a dining call-in show with which we compete here on the TV, on the computer. If I just watch it, I can just back it up and see it. But if I record it, it records 4 hours at a block. And I don't want to use up all that space on my recording stuff, so. Sorry. I was muted. I just couldn't mute my.
Shut the video off. Yep. But I'm so impressed you guys don't have any tech issues, concerns.
And since we don't, I move we disband this, but even if you don't want, other people don't want to, I'm gonna leave. So,
I second the motion.
Me too. I have to help a neighbor, so I'm gonna
Okay.
leave too.
Okay.
all right, well,
Thank
thanks.
you.
Alrighty, guys.
Week.
Have a
Bye.
good week.
Guys,
Have a good week.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Feel better soon.
thanks.